Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Fantasy Football, and welcome to my video. You guys have asked for it, and here it is. Today, in this video, I'm going to be talking about the wildcard draft for Game Week 2. Now, before we go into the wildcard team, I do want to mention that you got to look at your team. Have a look at your team and see how many players that you do not want in your team. But do not forget, it's only game week 1. Like, for me, I'm not sure about removing my defense, right? This is my team. I'm not sure about immediately trying to remove my defense. Maybe St. Maximin to Callum Wilson. Maybe removing Dele Alli. And maybe one of my front three. So that's not much of a move there. You know, that's only 2 free transfers. I think if you look at your team and it's only will cost you around 2 free transfers to get the players that you actually want, I think using your transfers instead of using a wild card is a much better option. For this video, it's basically to give you guys a template to work with. I know there's a lot of FPL managers out there that started off really badly and they actually got the wrong players in. Some of the players didn't even play, and there's other like transfers and stuff like that that is causing issues with their players. Okay, so I'm going to do my best. I'm going to give you guys a template to work with. So here we go. As you can see, this is the wildcard draft. This is a template that you can work with. If there are players that you are not 100% certain of, just make 1 or 2 changes and you can get the team that you want. So I went with this team and I think it is actually really strong. It's not only looking at game week 2, we are looking at game week 3 and 4 and onwards. So if you are wildcarding, you really need to get a team that is good for the long term. Get the players that are nailed, get the players that are going to play, and you got to have some kind of bench as well to play around with. Look, COVID-19, right? There's so many cases in England. It's going up and up and up. And a lot of things could happen in the Premier League for this season. So, and you have to like consider that the transfer window is still open. There'll be a couple of players that are coming through that might cause an issue with one of your players. So you got to have that flexibility to be able to use your substitutes just in case that something happens to your main player. Okay, so yeah, that's the kind of the outline. That's the kind of the strategy that you have to look at when you are using your wildcards. Okay, so as for the goalkeepers, to be honest with you, you guys pick whatever goalkeeper that you want. I would definitely recommend a 4.5 goalkeeper because I don't really like to spend too much money on a goalkeeper, and even a 4.5 goalkeeper could do really well. We've got Ryan here, we've got Martinez who's moved from Arsenal to Aston Villa that could do really well for us. So there's not much of a big choice here. If you do want to go and get a 5 million or 5.5, then it's really up to you on this case. So you guys pick whatever goalkeeper that you want. I'm just going to leave McCarthy there for now. Now, as you can see, we've got Taylor, Mitchell, Justin, we've got Robertson and Luca Dean. Now, I know Trent is not there. You can go and get Trent if you want by downgrading one of like your defenders there, or maybe Luca Dean to a 5 million that you can use the other million to spend elsewhere. Now, if you do want Trent, what you might need to do is downgrade one of your defenders, maybe Luca Dean to a Wolves defender. So there's quite a lot of choices here. Size around 5 million. Cody is another great option. Let's just for an example that we put Cody in our team and then we got 0.5. If you want a better goalkeeper, you can use that 0.5 to upgrade your goalkeeper. If you want 2, you can do the same, get 2 4.5s. If you don't like the look of Taylor and Justin, you can do the same here. So if we quickly look at the strategy here, you play Justin, Trent, and you probably will play Taylor if you want. I think a Cody is still a good option, but it is against Manchester City. The only reason why he's in the team is because of these fantastic fixtures. And we know how Wolves can keep a clean sheet If you do want to bench him, you can play Taylor, Justin, and Trent. And then in game week 3, you can bench James here and play Cody. So it's really up to you. I really like this kind of flexibility with the team. And Taylor and Mitchell is pretty much going to be the bench players. So if you do need their help, you can switch your players around. So it's really good strategy here at the back. But anyways, let's go to the midfielders. We've got Aubameyang. Now the strategy here with him is to keep him for game week 2. Home game against West Ham. West Ham lost against Newcastle 2-0 at home. And he signed a new contract. So there could be a lot of goals. Or he could play on the defense. Who knows? You got Salah here that you can remove him. You know, if you don't want Salah in your team, get Bruno, get De Bruyne, get Sterling. It's really up to you. You know, use this template to change things around. I think this template is really good. But the problem with Salah is we know that he can do well. And if he does well and you don't have him, you are going to be... It's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. So that's why he's here. Next up, we've got Harrison here. 5.5, scored a goal, played really well against Liverpool. Leeds United looked really attacking. But to be honest with you, you guys can pick any kind of midfielder that is around that price tag. There's a couple of mentions here as well that I want to go down. The Corey had like what? I think was it five key passes? Was it 4? I can't remember now. I should have went back, but he looked really good. And these fixtures are looking good as well. The problem is with getting the Corey, you might want more Everton players down the line. So that's the problem. And to be honest with you, there's quite a lot of Leeds United midfielders that could do really well. Next up is James Rodriguez. Didn't score, didn't get an assist, but 5 key passes. He looked really good on the ball. It's just that Richarlison didn't take the chances properly. I think that these games are the games for him to get some returns. 7.5. If you do not want to go for him, if you want to go for like Calvert-Lewin, you can do so. This is why it's good to kind of show you guys this kind of template to mess around with. 7 million. But then you look, 7.5, there's not really that good mid-range player right now. So that's why I went with James in the middle and got Callum Wilson. That is a fantastic value for money. Like 6.5 is really good, and I can see him doing really well, and he can get a lot of like price rises. And James is basically your massive differential. You got a 4.5 player that is just going to be on your bench. It's good to have a plain substitute, which will definitely help you out just in case there's some issues. Next up is Callum Wilson, 6.5. I think he is the best option for Newcastle. Scored a goal. We know what he can do. He had a past history that he performed really well for us in our FPL teams. Next game is against Brighton at home. Good fixture for him to get some returns. Tottenham away is going to be difficult, but you just never know. Then Burnley at home. So decent fixtures for him to get some returns. And because him being 6.5, I think that's just really good. You got Martial, one of our Manchester United players. I think him moving to the striking position gives us another option. 9 million. I think this is actually quite cheap. Crystal Palace at home, Brighton away. Fantastic fixtures. Then it becomes a little bit difficult. You know, there's quite a lot of home games here, playing like Chelsea and Arsenal. So it could be difficult for him to get some returns, but he plays really well at home. And you got Raul Jimenez. Doesn't have the best fixture next game against Manchester City, but he actually plays really well against them. And West Ham, then it's Fulham, then it's Leeds, then it's Newcastle. Seriously, guys, very, very good player. Consistent player. This was one of my players that I looked at with Jamie Vardy on players going under the radar. Yeah, definitely a great option. So look at this team. As you can see, I still got 0.5. You can change a few things around. Now looking at this team, you can make a lot of changes. You know, if you want Werner back in your team, don't then go and get him. There's no, you know, you just have to remove Martial and maybe remove Salah for Bruno Fernandes. If you want to keep Ings, you can keep Ings for the Tottenham game. If you want to go for Rashford, you can do so as well. I was looking at Rashford and where is he? So Rashford, as you can see, 1.5. I mean, that looks really good as well. Maybe we can get Luka Dean there. Let's just add Luka Dean there to see how he actually looks. 9 million. Maybe we can go back and get Werner back into the team if you want that Chelsea asset. To me, I'm actually looking to get Pulisic in. Hopefully it becomes fit in the next game. Then I can bring him like in game week 3 or 4 or something like that. I think Chelsea might need to gel just a little bit more before they can start scoring a lot of points for us. But yeah, that was pretty much it. I hope this wildcard has helped you. Now looking at my team, I'm going to hold my transfer as long as I can. There might be some injuries. Apparently there was some kind of knock for St. Maximin. Sounds like he's okay, but you never know. Ali is an issue here. Don't know if he's going to actually start for me. I don't know what's going to happen. And Werner is still yellow flagged. You never know. You know, with the press conference, they might say, you know, Lampard might say, hey, yeah, he's got a knock. He's nursing it. There could be some issues there. And if that's the case, then I can bring in Martial. For my team, I'm actually thinking to use... I was going to say wildcard, but I want to take a -4 hit by removing Werner and Ali and bring in maybe Rashford and Calvert-Lewin or Martial or James Rodriguez. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I think this might be it. I don't know if I'm going to create a video tomorrow. I'll try to create a video on a Friday just in case there's some big news. Okay? Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, come give this video a like. Come subscribe if you're new. Thank you so much for the 19,000 subscribers. Hopefully we can hit 20k. That would be fantastic. And that is about it. Thank you so much, guys. And I'll see you guys next time. See ya.